Most people carry karma like a weight, a burden from the past, a punishment they don't fully understand but deeply feel. They suffer through it, believing pain is the only path to purification. But karma was never meant to break you. It was meant to wake you. Karma is not revenge. It is not fate punishing you for past mistakes. Karma is movement, action, and reaction. It is the echo of your choices returning to teach, to balance, to complete. Every thought, every intention, every act leaves an imprint, not as judgment, but as energy. That energy returns not to shame you, but to bring you into alignment. Suffering begins when you resist the lesson, when you identify with the pain instead of the teaching, when you confuse karma with identity, when you say, "This is happening to me," instead of asking, "What is this showing me?" You can burn karma without suffering, but only if you meet it with awareness, only if you are willing to stop running and start listening. Karma wants your attention, not your misery. It appears in patterns, recurring relationships, repeated failures, emotional triggers that never fully dissolve. These are not accidents. They are mirrors. They reveal what you still carry, what you still avoid, what you have not yet integrated. The first step is presence. Suffering thrives on resistance, on distraction, on denial. But the moment you become still, truly still, karma begins to shift. Not because it disappears, but because you stop feeding the illusion that you are its victim. You are not being punished. You are being refined. You are not stuck. You are being shown the way out, not by force, but by fire. Not external fire, but inner fire, the fire of awareness. Pain is the messenger, but awareness is the healer. The deeper you see, the softer karma becomes. The more conscious you are, the less karma needs to shake you. It speaks louder only when you stop listening. You burn karma not by escaping it, but by embracing it with presence. You sit with the discomfort. You breathe into the contraction. You allow the old emotion to rise, without reaction, without judgment. And in that space, something breaks open. Something releases. Something completes. Most people try to fix karma by fixing others. They point outward, blame, react, repeat. But karma is not outside. It lives in your perception. Your reaction is the karma. Change that, and everything changes. When someone hurts you and you respond with understanding instead of retaliation, karma burns. When life closes a door and you open inward instead of spiraling in fear, karma burns. When old pain arises and you stay instead of running, karma burns. It's not dramatic. It's not loud. Sometimes it feels like nothing at all. Just a soft shift, a quiet release, a subtle clarity. But those small moments, those are liberation. You do not need to suffer endlessly. You only need to stop clinging to the identity built around your wounds. You are not here to carry karma like a cross. You are here to transmute it, to walk through it awake. Action creates karma. Awareness dissolves it. The more you act from unconsciousness, from fear, from habit, from ego, the more karma you accumulate. But when you act from presence, from clarity, from compassion, you break the chain. This is not passive. This is not avoidance. This is mastery. To feel the pull of old behavior and choose differently, that is burning karma. To feel the urge to defend, to fight, to blame, and instead respond with stillness. That is alchemy. Every moment gives you a choice, to repeat or to release, to react or to rise, to stay in the cycle or to step out. Karma gives you the lesson, but how you respond, that's your freedom. And the deeper truth is this: most of your karma is self-created now, not from ancient lifetimes, but from this lifetime, this moment, the thoughts you believe, the emotions you feed, the stories you refuse to drop. Burn karma by dropping the story. Not the wisdom, but the narrative that keeps you small. The one that says, I was hurt, so I am broken. The one that says, they owe me. The one that says, this is just who I am. You are not your pain. You are not your patterns. You are the space in which they rise and fall. The witness, the alchemist. The one with the power to meet what arises. Not with fear, but with fire, with light, with truth. That is how karma burns, in the fire of your awareness. Quiet, steady, clear. Not through suffering, but through seeing. Not through force, but through presence. And in that presence, the cycle begins to unravel. The reason most people suffer under karma is because they personalize it. They believe they are being targeted. They think karma is something bad that happens to bad people. But karma is not moral. It is not emotional. It is law, like gravity. It simply returns what you put out. And the more you understand this, the more empowered you become. You stop asking, why me? And start asking, what is this inviting me to transform? You stop fighting what comes and start listening to what it's teaching. Karma burns quickest when you stop seeing life as something happening to you and start experiencing it as something unfolding for you, to wake you up, to stretch you, to empty you of illusion. Every moment of awareness is a flame, a chance to burn away the veils of conditioning, a chance to choose peace over pride, compassion over defense, surrender over control. This is not weakness. This is deep strength. The strength to break cycles without passing on pain. The strength to be with discomfort without creating more. The strength to feel fully, respond wisely, and release gently. You begin to see karma everywhere, not as punishment, but as a mirror. Your boss triggers your old wound. Your partner reflects your own judgment. A stranger offers the exact message your soul needed to hear. None of it random, all of it sacred. And when you begin to see life this way, something profound shifts. You stop taking things personally. You stop reacting from ego. You start responding from presence. And in those responses, karma burns, a little at a time, quietly, lovingly, softly, like ice melting in the sun. You don't need to perform rituals to clear karma, though rituals can help. You don't need to chant mantras endlessly, though sound has power. You need only to bring truth to the moment, awareness to the trigger, stillness to the storm. Karma ends not when the world changes, but when you do. When you stop being the echo and become the silence. When you stop being the victim and become the witness. You were never meant to carry karma forever. You were meant to complete it, to face it, feel it, learn from it, and let it go. That is liberation. That is healing. That is the quiet fire of awakening. And the more karma you burn, the lighter you become. Literally, you feel it in your body. Less tension, more breath. You feel it in your emotions. Less reactivity, more clarity. You feel it in your life. Fewer loops, more flow. You start attracting differently. People shift. Patterns dissolve. What once felt stuck begins to move. Why? Because your frequency changed. Because your response changed. Because you changed. This is not magic. This is the law. Change your relationship with life, and life responds. Shift your inner posture, and the outer begins to rearrange. Not always instantly, but undeniably. Karma cannot survive in full awareness. It is a shadow, and shadows vanish in light. The moment you see clearly, the moment you stop reacting blindly, the chain breaks. And what's left? Space, peace, choice. A quiet freedom that doesn't need to prove itself. A softness that feels like home. A strength that doesn't shout. You begin to live differently, not to avoid karma, but to walk lightly, to act with love, with clarity, with care, not out of fear, but from alignment. And you realize the goal was never to have a perfect life. It was to meet life perfectly, as it is, to move through the karma with grace, to let it shape you, but not harden you, to let it refine you, but not define you. You are not your past. You are not your mistakes. You are not the karmic patterns you inherited. You are the awareness burning through them, the light watching the flames, the presence that remains long after the ashes fall. Burn karma not with effort, but with truth, not with pain, but with presence, not with force, but with love. You are not here to suffer. You are here to awaken, to meet the fire and walk through it awake, to let it purify what is false, to let it reveal what is real. And when you do, when the old loops fall silent and the light within grows steady, you'll realize you were never trapped. You were never cursed. You were only being shown the way home, one flame at a time.